Okay, students, so the next machining process we have is drilling. So we have a drilling machine here. You will be wondering, this drilling machine is exactly entirely different from the normal drilling machine that we see in household. This is an industrial drilling machine. You will be familiar with the drilling bit, which you will see in the normal drilling machine, but this is in a larger size. It has got a different setup. We have a motor here, if we can distinguish. It's a motor here. So drive is taken through a belt, and here it is given. So this will be a live center. This will be rotating. So we have a work table onto which the workpiece will be kept here. So this work table is able to move up and down, as well as a little bit we can push this side as well. Or it can be rotated also, depending on the type of the machine which we have. This is the control where which we can give the feed, we can give some load onto it, where we can do the drilling. Okay, so a better picture is with some details are given here. So we have a column, we have the head, it will have the motor and all, unlike the other. This is another design altogether. So we have a normal chuck. It's not a bigger chuck as we have seen in the lathe, but it's a smaller one, but not as small as the one which is there in a normal household drilling machine. Okay, it's a slightly bigger one. We have the drilling bit. We have a vise onto which the workpiece will be kept here. We have the X motion, Y motion, the Z motion, and other things available. Okay. Now, what actually is being done? How it works is, you have seen the motor here. So the motor is connected to the spindle, the drive spindle, with a belt. So you can see the belt. So here we have a control where we can give some motion to this drill bit in the downward direction. So we have the spindle here, we have the chuck here, the drill bit is fixed. We have the work table here, the work will be fixed here. So we can raise it, we can move it like this, we can turn it. So all these arrangements are over there. All right. Now generally there will be a question that can we do anything other than drilling in a drilling machine? Yes, we can do other things also in using a drilling machine. For instance, we can do reaming. That means for an existing hole we can ream it and make it a bigger one. Or boring also we can do. That means the diameter of this one. So will make it a smoother one. The diameter of this can be again increased by boring, or it can be do counter boring. Counter boring is the one where we want the bolt to the head to go inside it. For example, you're tightening something in the head, projects like this outside. If you don't want it, what you do is counter boring. So once you do the counter boring, you take away this much part of it. Okay. So it is normally like this. So this much part you have taken extra, so that the head of this bolt will go inside, and it is inside and in it will not be seen. Okay. Now similarly we have countersinking also. Countersinking is generally we have the screws where it is not it's a tapering cut. You can see the back side of the screw. It is something like this shape. So it will allow the screw to be inside this surface. Okay. It can be also used for making internal threads and all. It is called tapping and all. We can make some profiling also inside this ones. All right. So all these operations can be done using our drilling machine. Yes. Yes. We also have another important machine which we generally use, that is the grinding machine, where we grind. There's a wheel, there's an abrasive wheel which will grind off some softer materials. So these are two. This is a grinding machine. It has got two grinding wheels at both ends. This is a grinding abrasive wheel which is able to rotate. So this is actually a machine wherein which you can automate and pick. If you can see, the workpiece can be fixed inside. There's a wheel here which is the abrasive wheel. So you can have the constant or a very controlled way of grinding using this machine. Okay. So grinding machines. So there are also other grindings which you can do, like cylindrical grinding. That means some internal grinding you can do like this. Then there is something called honing that you can, these parts are the ones which is abrasive, so we can insert and make it a bigger one. Or cylindrical grinding, you can grind it like the machine which I have shown. So, or it can be a surface grinding. Some surface can be, grinding can be done on the surface. So differently, depending on what, how, what, and how you want it, the wheel and the abrasive orientation and the rotation of it will be changed, so that you will have the necessary grinding done. All right. Now another machine which you may see in a machine shop is nothing but a slaughter. So it's very similar to the shaper, which I said there's a reciprocating motion, horizontal motion, but in slaughter it is nothing but horizontal, but it is vertical. It is not horizontal, but it's vertical. So this is the ram which will go up and down. You have the stroke control here, the lock nut and all here. So you have the work table here. The work table can be fixed here. So there is it can be rotated and fixed wherever, whatever type you want. It has got the motor and all for converting the rotary motion, a mechanism for converting the rotary motion to the reciprocating motion and all. Okay, so we can make slots like what you have seen here. So there are different slots which is possible. Then you can see another one which is called a planer. It does the planing operation like we do it on a wooden carpenter does the planing. Similarly, we can do the planing here. It has the provision of moving this X, Y, Z directions. You can see the pulley and the drives for the power transmission and control of different movements. Okay. Now this is it for today. Hope you have understood the different types of machining processes which are commonly used and the way in which they can be used for manufacturing different parts. We may not use a particular type of machine alone, but it can be a combination of these machines to get some particular part ready at when we are doing it in an actual practice. So hope you understood these basic concepts, and thank you.